Indian politics can be entertaining at times, but mocking politicians is not a solution. Everything they do affects your life and mine. As Karnataka takes center stage in Indian politics, Gravitas decided to bring you this analysis. Karnataka elections have thrown the Indian democracy and its political system into the spotlight. The BJP emerged as the single largest party in that state, but the BJP did not get the majority. The ruling incumbent Congress party lost power, but it formed a post-poll alliance with the regional player, the JDS. So the Congress-JDS combined had bigger numbers than the BJP alone. The Congress and JDS staked claim to form the government in Karnataka. They failed. The BJP's chief ministerial candidate, Mr. Yediyurappa, met the governor, Vajubhai Vala. He got 15 days' time to prove majority on the floor of the Karnataka Assembly. Now what happens? Yediyurappa is the chief minister of Karnataka. He has a 15-day deadline looming. He has to prove he has the numbers. It's not that the Congress party did nothing to stop the swearing in of the BJP government. Congress moved the Supreme Court of India last night. 3 judges of the highest court of the land heard the Congress's side of the story for several hours. The time was 5:30 a.m. IST, the same time as the sun rose this morning in Delhi. 5:30 a.m. this morning, the Supreme Court of India refused to stay the swearing in of Mr. Yediyurappa in Karnataka's capital, Bengaluru. But there was a catch. The matter is now sub judice before the courts. The Supreme Court has been involved. It clearly says the court's decision will be binding. And the court will hear the matter tomorrow. The Congress party did face some uncomfortable questions in the court for petitioning judges at midnight. The Attorney General, Mr. Venugopal, intervened in the court. He asked the Congress, what's the hurry? Will heavens fall if a person is sworn in the morning? The law officer further contended that everything was in the realm of speculation. What will happen if the Congress waits for 15 days? One judge thought differently, though. He asked, why wait for 15 days? But the bench also observed it was preposterous to think that MLAs will indulge in horse trading. Abhishek Manu Singhvi of the Congress party concluded by thanking the judges. He said it is the apex of democracy if the Supreme Court can open up at 2 a.m. to provide justice. That's all very well. Tejasvi Yadav is the leader of the RJD. It is a regional player in Bihar. And Tejasvi's father, Mr. Lalu Prasad Yadav, is now in jail for corruption. Anyway, Tejasvi's party emerged as the single largest party in Bihar elections. That was in 2015. It formed a coalition government with Nitish Kumar, but later Nitish Kumar switched sides, citing corruption allegations against the RJD leaders, and formed government with Prime Minister Narendra Modi's Bharatiya Janata Party. Sounds very complicated. This election happened in 2015. Why are we talking about it now? Because Tejasvi Yadav has taken cues from Karnataka. His argument now is that since his party is the single largest party in Bihar, it should be invited to form the government. To that end, he has announced protests tomorrow. What happened in Karnataka is spilling onto other states. Similarly, Congress party emerged as the single largest party in the state of Goa. But it was the BJP that formed the government, and now the Congress has appealed to the Goa governor that it should be given a chance to form a government. And why? Because it is the party with the highest number of MLAs in the state assembly. The premise on which Karnataka governor invited BJP's Yediyurappa to form a government in Karnataka while ignoring the claim of the Congress and the JDS combined. There was a commission called Sarkaria Commission. It gave its recommendations on what should be done in the case of a fractured mandate. If no party gets the clear majority, what should the governor do? These recommendations were affirmed by the Constitution Bench of the Supreme Court. This was in 2005. So what are these recommendations? The Commission gave the order in which the governor must invite parties to form a government. The first preference must be given to an alliance of parties that was formed prior to elections. In the case of Karnataka, there was no such alliance. If that fails, the governor must invite the single largest party staking claim to form the government. The party can also show support of others, including independent lawmakers. If and after this measure also fails, the preference must be given to a post-poll alliance of parties, like the Congress and the JDS in this case, and all of these parties must then join the government. The last option, there can also be a provision for parties coming together to form the government. Some of these parties joining hands can give outside support. About 12 years ago, in the year 2006, a 7-judge constitution bench of the Supreme Court had dealt with the role of the governor and her discretionary powers. The court had ruled that there is nothing wrong in post-poll adjustments. There is no harm when two parties come together because of ideological similarity. This is plain opportunism. The judgment also said clearly that if a political party with the support of other political parties stakes claim to form the government and satisfies the governor about its ability to form the government cannot refuse formation of the government. The governor's subjective assessment does not matter in a situation like this. The court even said that the governor is not an autocratic political ombudsman. He cannot decide on whim. WION hopes that we've been able to put things in perspective, give you an idea of what's happening there and why there are parallels to be drawn from history and from contemporary cases. The political drama that started in Karnataka has now engulfed Goa, Bihar, Mizoram, Manipur. Thanks to a fractured mandate in one state, the governor has acted. The single largest party, the BJP, has formed the government. It is not clear how Mr. Yediyurappa will prove his majority on the floor of the House. He has 15 days to do it. The Congress, meanwhile, is now on a mission to challenge the BJP. The charges of horse trading are flying thick and fast. In case Mr. Yediyurappa fails to prove majority, the governor will have to invite this post-poll alliance of the Congress and the JDS. But if Mr. Yediyurappa does prove the majority, allegations of horse trading will gain momentum. Where did he find those extra MLAs that he needed? And let's not forget, the Supreme Court of India is hearing the Congress's petition tomorrow. Little doubt then that Karnataka is now the political hot potato, and the fight for the next big elections, the 2019 general elections for the central government, has become very, very ferocious.